There's no question that Canada is in the middle of a housing crisis. Rents are high, interest rates are through the roof, and supply is limited. And just last week, housing was top of mind during the Liberal cabinet retreat, with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau telling reporters about the measures his government is taking to ease the issue. One of those includes the need for densification. And with the House of Commons just weeks away from returning, the question of what comes next is looming large. Uday Rana has been looking into this for us this week and joins us now with more. All right, so Uday, let's break this all down. When it comes to densification, what exactly are we talking about?
Well, this term densification has come back into circulation after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau touted this as a solution, or perhaps one of the solutions to Canada's housing crisis. But essentially what it means is creating compact, walkable, transit-oriented communities across Canada. The idea is that in Canada's post-war housing boom, the construction that took place promoted suburban sprawl, and the zoning requirements meant that in many parts of the country, only single-family homes could be built. What's more, one expert told me that the average size of the single-family home in Canada has also increased from about 1,000 square feet to 2,500 square feet per single-family home. And the idea of the densification project is to either halt or even reverse that sprawl that has taken place in so many parts of Canada. I asked housing policy expert Carolyn Weitzman what she meant what she thought when she heard the word densification, and this is what she said.
So when the Prime Minister is talking about zoning, when anyone's talking about densification, what they're really talking about is allowing, as of right, what's sometimes called the missing middle, duplexes, triplexes, small apartment buildings, accessory apartments that can help build more rental stock generally.
All right, so Uday, a lot of this sounds like something municipalities would do. What exactly is the role of the federal government in all this?
Well, experts all agree that all three levels of government have their work cut out for them if Canada is going to come out of this housing crisis. If, things like zoning requirements or land use policy or transit corridors being built are the purview of provincial or municipal governments, the federal government has financial levers that it can use to make sure that it incentivizes certain kind of construction or certain kinds of buildings being made. When I reached out to Housing Minister Sean Fraser's office, they told us that it was in fact the intention of the federal government to tie the $4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund to zoning changes taking place within cities. And experts do believe that, at least in the big cities, single-family zoning is on the way out. We've seen those changes take place in big cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton, and experts believe that other smaller municipalities will also follow.
Okay, but is densification alone going to help ease the housing crisis? I mean, what else are the feds looking at to solve this?
Well, all experts agree that densification, while necessary and good, is not enough. At least the experts that I spoke to have said that a lot more needs to be done. And if you just look at aggregate supply, all you're going to get are 80-story luxury condos that are not really going to help with affordability. So picture the average Canadian city. What you probably imagine is an 80-story condo tower amid a sea of single-family homes. That is something that experts say should be avoided. And what you need is a diversity of housing. You need duplexes and triplexes, and you need purpose-built rental housing, according to some of these experts, to make sure that even people who cannot afford to buy housing have a place that they call home and can afford to at least rent in some of Canada's biggest cities.
All right, and Uday, you've also been tracking conversations around a proposed cap on international student intake. So tell us more about that side of things and how that relates to all this.
Right. As our viewers will know, over the last few weeks, several ministers in the Trudeau cabinet have hinted at the possibility that Ottawa might consider capping the number of international students being enrolled into Canadian universities or being issued student permits to enter Canada every year. As of now, there are 800,000 international students who have active study permits across Canada, and there has been a growing clamor to cut down that number, or at least cap that number, to keep it consistent with housing supply across the country. Universities Canada has issued a statement saying that it should continue, that Canada should continue to welcome international students to its shores. And experts are saying that's because universities across Canada stand to lose a lot of money if the number of international students across Canada are capped. And there was a report that said that about $22 billion a year comes from international students spending on things like tuition, food, and accommodation and other such things. So this isn't just about housing. This is also a major revenue stream for universities and colleges across Canada.
Well, lots of very important information, interesting information there, Uday. Thank you so much for breaking it all down for us.
Thank you.
For more on both of these stories, you can go to our website, globalnews.ca.